Hey, everybody, Off the Mic Sports Network here. Another edition of Off the Top Rope. Some dynamite thoughts here. One really big picture takeaway from this show is, my God, the AEW Tag Team Division is a fucking disaster. And I think I might have said this weeks and months ago when the Hurt Syndicate won the championships. This was once one of the hallmarks and one of the things that AEW was built on was tag team wrestling, because they had one of the great tag teams from any company or anywhere in the Young Bucks. And they had so many, like you had SCU, and you had Private Party, and you had Proud and Powerful that have now broke up. And credit to Mike Santana for making him something of himself as a singles guy. But it's a shame that tag team ended up breaking up as a result of this. Obviously, FTR comes in. There's just a handful, and then obviously you got Top Flight, which was derailed by injuries. Like, they had so many good tag teams that had a lot of credibility when this company started and was built over the first 2 or 3 years. What the hell do we have now? Like, what the hell do we have now? FTR is not even in the tag team title picture. Also, the Guns, who may not be considered as great, they're former tag team champions. They got unceremoniously tossed aside. You had look, let's take a look at what's happened with the Hurt Syndicate ever since they won those championships. The Outrunners, who were an over tag team, they had a chance to crown them. They didn't do it. And the Outrunners just got really cast aside. I think that was at Revolution, if I'm not mistaken. Dynasty, they faced Brian Keith and Big Bill. And it's like, okay, we have no reason to care about those guys as a tag team, even though Big Bill is a former tag team champion. Cool. And now basically you're in a situation where at the time of this recording, the next challengers for the tag team championships in AEW are either going to be the team of Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes, who I understand are the Ring of Honor tag team champions, or you're going to have Crew. You're going to have Crew, which is Action Andretti and Leo Rush as a heel tag team after they broke off from Top Flight. And this was after Top Flight just got beaten in an eliminator match by the Hurt Syndicate. There's no good tag teams in this division. There's none. The fuck happened? What the fuck happened? Like, they had the Hardys in this place. And the Hardys have done way more for tag team wrestling in TNA than they ever did in AEW, because some of it was Jeff Hardy was just, having some substance abuse issues, and we hope that he's going to, stay out of trouble. He's had issues his entire life and his entire career, but it feels like really since, Ricky Starks and Big Bill won those championships from FTR a couple of years ago, and then they dropped them to Sting and Darby Allin. These tag team titles, man, have been just really in a bad place. The Young Bucks won the championships. They literally didn't defend them, then dropped them to Private Party. Private Party had a terrible run. And here we are, the Hurt Syndicate, two guys who I really like, Shelton Benjamin, who's one of the most underrated wrestlers of all time, Bobby Lashley, who I love to death, both guys who I honestly think should be challenging for singles championships, are here in a tag team with no challengers. And unless this MJF thing is leading to, a scenario where, FTR gets the titles back, then what happens? You're going to go to FTR versus Christian and Edge, Christian and Adam Copeland? Like, it's just, I don't get it, man. I don't get where the direction is with this tag team division. And seeing where it was 5-6 years ago, it's staggering to me how tag team wrestling has become so irrelevant in this company. I remember when we were ripping WWE for how bad their tag team division is. On Raw, it still is pretty bad. But at least on SmackDown, holy mackerel, and they added Fraxium to that tag team division. So you can't say WWE doesn't give a shit about tag team wrestling, because they have made a consistent and conscious effort to make their tag team division a lot more significant than it used to be. Having teams like DIY, Motor City Machine Guns, and the Street Profits really helps, especially on SmackDown. But it's like you're looking around and you're just like, you look in AEW and you're like, this company had so many fucking great tag teams when they started, and they had this elite tournament to start it off. I mean, Hangman and Kenny Omega were the second champions, and they had an unbelievable title run. Young Bucks' first title run was freaking great. Lucha Brothers left. That's another team that I completely neglected to remember. Look at what Ray Phoenix, and at some point, Ray Phoenix and Penta are going to be on the main roster of WWE in their tag team division. They're on two separate shows as single stars, and they're shining. And they were stuck in this mess of a tag team division. They thought better of it and got the fuck out of there. Like, it's so amazing at what has transpired. And I was watching this tag team sequence happen, and then I see, man, Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara, who've barely been on television, and Crew, that's the best you have for the Hurt Syndicate? What? There's one thing I'm going to be overly critical about. This tag team division sucks. It sucks. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.